Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Aaron, and I am playing Brother Benedict.
This is Johnny playing Jorus, Glave.
This is Jeremy playing Grayson, Digby.
This is Jeff playing Demetrius, Norden.
And this is Jordan, the GM. So previously, we had all managed to make our way down to the Undermarket, finally. Jorus wanted to check out a library at the university, but he rolled horribly, so it
burned down.
Something had to happen.
They couldn't have just had a section that
The doors could have just been locked.
No, it had to burn down. It tied in thematically with other elements in the story. It's like a consequence of what had happened at the end of the last season. Because you haven't seen too much of the burned down sections of the city.
Yeah.
It just made sense. And now Adrian Marr and Brother Benedict were having a conversation about magic and
Life after death.
life after
turning
death.
in the whole group into my mouse.
Turning a whole group of humans into one mouse.
Yeah. So, Benedict says, let me rephrase that. The hooded one with the beard. He's the one who turned into a mouse.
So the one already covered in fur.
Yes, that one. So I have seen some magic that I would not classify as good or bad.
Isn't he afraid his bird will eat him?
I don't think... I'm not sure if Jorus...
Because, mouse, birds do that.
Birds do eat mice. I don't know if Jorus has thought that much through.
Magic is dangerous not to think through.
What kind of magic can you do?
These very specific things.
Yeah? I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could do magic. Other times, I'm glad I don't have the complication.
But these bones could do many things.
Yeah?
And many can still.
What can these bones do?
It's hard to describe.
If only some of them could get us into the cathedral to get to the queen.
Huh?
Well, right now our biggest problem is getting through the barrier to the cathedral to rescue the queen. If any of these bones could help with that, that would be something.
You want to remove holy place?
No. I definitely would not harm your religious site if they could do that from here.
Distance too far.
I gathered as much.
You're not really finding anything in the bones.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and rejoin your...
Yeah, I'll join the two of them over by the bones.
Can you believe what he says? These bones.
What about the bones? What does he say?
They don't leave.
I don't know exactly what he told you, but I don't think he believed the bones could get up and walk.
Adrian Marr was just telling me the kinds of magic these bones could do, and I said that magic that could get us through the barrier would be helpful.
Oh, he was not saying the bones can get through the barrier.
But the bones have... You can't see?
Adrian, I cannot see. Can you...
All right, when he says, can you see, I want to do detect magic core on the bones.
Okay. The bones are polished so heavily that they become a mirror.
20.
20?
20.
You detect the magic of the bones, and they are the same resonance as the actual dome or the...
Okay. Adrian, I see the magic of the bones. I believe what Brother Benedict was trying to convey to you was not that he wishes for the bones to do anything, as much as just any solution to our problem. He wishes that the magic of the bones could give us an answer.
That's not what you said.
Oftentimes we speak in metaphors or language that is difficult to translate.
Words make pictures. And you are saying that pictures are lies?
Of course, pictures can be lies. If you were to look at something and someone were standing there only invisible, what you see is a picture, but it is a lie as well.
Humans do not have the ability to see magic as easily as the fairy did.
You just did. Are you fairy?
It was not easy. I had to put forth a special effort to see it. And not everybody has that ability.
Like effort to turn into a tiny furry thing?
Similar.
This bird eat you?
No. No. It's not a instinctual thing for humans. We have to be trained. Have to be taught.
But you said you wish bones could pass through.
What I meant is I wish that bones could do something to get us through the barrier.
Out of character, they definitely can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Because they're the same type of magic, but without desecrating their gravesite.
So we need to corner a few, kill them, and then use them to walk through.
That's valid. I like this plan.
I mean, that's what you're telling me.
Do you, Edrin, know of a way to pass through the barrier?
Is ancient magic, fresh magic, young magic like mine, most of Bae Van Shee here not pass?
Is there a way to learn the ancient magic?
It's blood and bone.
It's blood and bone. Have you looked at the barrier by the chapel? Do you see the same type of magic as there is in the bones?
He ducks his head.
Adrian, your ancestors, were they Bae Van Shee?
No.
Okay,
No.
I misunderstood something you said.
Bae Van Shee stole some magics. An old Bae Van Shee there. They left us.
Okay.
So,
Nine Rouge is young.
Who's Nine Rouge?
And Bae Van Shee. No remove bones.
we don't want to remove the bones.
Is there any way we can take some of the magic of the bones with us?
Only way to take magic is to take bones.
And we need an old magic to pass through. I take it the king of the Mist Court is of old magic? Here's a silly question. Have you looked around here for the key?
He's not here. He's behind dome.
Are you sure about that?
It was there when it closed.
I thought it was Walsham had it when it closed.
Walsham killed before it closed.
Is the one who stole Walsham's soul old magic or new magic?
Blend together. Old magic serves young magic.
What do you mean by serves?
Nine Rouge.
You mean that young magic can access old magic?
Nine Rouge is young magic.
Okay.
Human, fae, hybrid. Old magic user serves young magic.
Oh, so the young magic is in charge.
Ah,
Okay. Do you know anything about the cold that is going on?
oh,
The ice that is taking over?
not good.
Not good? Old magic?
Bae Van Shee magic.
I understand that.
Like, make it their realm.
They're trying to turn it into their realm?
Ah.
The Bae Van Shee realm is a realm cold?
Part of mist is because mist is warm.
We have to get past the barrier at the cathedral to get the key. We have to get you back to your king. He knows what's going on.
So, you take home?
Is there a way to take the bones without disrespecting them?
Well,
Who could we ask?
If the Bae Van Shee take over our city, you'll be trapped within their realm.
already trapped.
Yes. But would you rather be trapped with us or with Bae Van Shee who want to actively kill you?
We don't smell bad.
I can't comment on that.
I think now. And he just wanders away. And we'll go ahead and let you, Benedict and Jorus, ruminate on that while we go ahead and talk with, or see what Demetrius and Grayson are up to.
Grayson was going to go talk to the shop owner that the blacksmith brought in boards.
Okay.
See if we can draw up some information about the key. Anybody in the Undermarket has been asking about the key, seen the key.
I can't say that I've heard any rumors about someone asking about a key. What does this look like again?
I've actually never seen it. I've heard that it is a large magical item, either round or spherical in shape.
I've not heard of any dealers or collectors looking for such an item. Doesn't mean that they haven't. Not something that I've heard about. Now, why are you looking for this again?
Maybe there's more and more fey magic going on in this city.
Times change. But yeah, I have seen that, yes.
Yeah, so this key is supposedly a way for us to be able to travel back and forth between our world and theirs. Times change. Gotta make new deals. This would be a valuable thing to have.
You know, I think there might be someone who can help you with looking for something like that. There's this lady is really obsessed with the Fae. Her name is Loveless. Her and her people, all they do is talk about the Fae.
For people?
There's a whole group of them.
The actors or something?
I don't know what they started off as. They seem to think that the Fae, whatever they will be doing, or they think that they'll bring something new.
Any way I can find this lady?
Yeah, she comes through the market on a pretty regular basis. She should be going to the center square, and it seems during this watch, she normally shows up with a few of her, what do you want to call them, associates, make some statements.
And they just walk through spouting off stuff.
She stands on a bale of hay or something, rants and raves for about an hour.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And your name is?
Hopeful person number 4.
Throw is an agility
Grayson
skill,
extends
right?
his hand and says, "Okay, well, it's pleased to meet you. I am main character number 1."
Yeah. I mean, you think highly of yourself. So.
Does that make
Yeah.
Jorus mean character number 5?
Yes.
Well,
Nope, number 6, because the bird comes before you.
this person's name is
Sir not appearing in this film.
Julian Albin. Julian Albin, magic dealer, Undermarket magic dealer. What would you like to be doing at this point?
I guess while we're at the magical wares dealer shop, I'll browse see if anything looks like it would be useful to someone that's not a magic user.
Okay, go ahead. Good job.
It's a
Going
6.
forever.
You can
It's
just
always
roll
a 6 when you roll it off the table.
It never counts when it rolls off the table.
It's always a 1 when you roll off the table.
18.
18. That's a good roll. So it looks like it's in a pile of relatively new acquisitions for the shop, like in a jumble of things in a wheelbarrow. But you see what looks like a helmet made out of an Iberian style.
I grab the helmet, look at it, turn it over my hands a couple times, turn to the shopkeeper, say, you know what this does? Besides being a helmet, you do magic stuff here, right?
Oh, that one's not magical. It's
Just a helmet.
yeah, it was just pawned off here a day or 2 ago.
How much is it?
Well, 3 silver pieces.
Who gave him the money?
They wouldn't give it to you because
You gave him the money. He asked for the purse and you gave it to him.
So is it actually a really nice helmet?
Yeah, I mean it's a serviceable helmet. The guy who sold it a couple of days ago, he said it was the best helmet that his king could buy.
Not saying much. I mean, it is Iberia.
Yeah.
But Iberian steel is like a really...
I look down upon them.
Yes, so should you, as a member of the Angellan citizenry, because you know nationalism runs strong.
I think I'm gonna leave it.
All right.
I guess we'll go over to the wall of boom.
Well, I was going to say, after Edmar left us, I was going to head back towards them.
on the way to meet them. Do I have any money?
I would imagine you might have some money.
I just need to replace my broken knife too.
Yeah, you have enough gold to purchase a knife if you
I
want.
purchased
All you have to say is, "Hey guys, can I have some money to buy myself a knife?"
a serviceable, nice little, knife.
Okay. They try and tell you the knife was found in like the crypt of some barbarian king who had been conquered by the founders of the Angelin Empire, trying to raise up the price.
That's cool. Yeah, Benedict buys it. I think he believes it.
It's 2 silver pieces more than what it should actually be worth.
Is it shiny at least?
Brand new knife.
No. Yeah, 2 silver pieces. Again, I have some money on me, so.
It was worth 3. You paid 5.
Okay.
What I want to do is, as I'm wandering through, I just want to do a see magic aura and look for any of the old magic.
Okay. Target number 15?
15, so that's 10, 15, 25.
Yes, you do see it.
So what kind of things do I see that are old magic?
All the bones.
Well, that's not bones. I mean, like on
Oh, you were looking for things
like, in the shops.
No, nothing from the shops. Pretty much the only things that are of old magic are actually the bones of the Fae that are interspersed with the humans.
So I don't see of the shops anything
No.
old magic.
So Grayson's gonna head back over to meet up with Jorus and relay that there is somebody, Lady Lovelace, who's gonna come. She may be a Bae Van Shee supporter. Apparently she comes here often to spout propaganda. Was said that she comes and believes that when the Fae come, they will bring something new.
Is she aware that the Fae are already here?
I mean, I believe everybody here, down here, is aware that they're.
Is she Fae? Is the question.
I have no idea. We'll find out. She's supposed to be here.
Because
Any minute.
if she is Fae, according to our conversation with Edmund Mars, something new, it could be very, 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 very bad. So I briefly tried to explain our conversation with Edmund Mars of the difference between old magic and new magic, and how the one in charge of Bae Van Shee is new magic, commands even the old magic. There's something new, could be referring to that.
It's just like any other hierarchy. Next in line rules over everyone, even if they're older.
But in the world of magic, for somebody younger to be more powerful is unusual.
You say so.
The magic surrounding the cathedral is old magic. And Edwin Mars is convinced that the key that we seek is inside the dome surrounding the cathedral.
He said it's inside the dome.
That's what he said.
Could this new magic be the young boy that was sacrificed to the mirror?
It could be. This new magic is certainly the one who's in charge of the Bae Van Shee right now.
Well, from what we saw at the Tencham Hunting Lodge, that would be that boy.
He is our primary enemy, it looks like.
I should give a description of him to Adrian, see if he knows who we're talking about. Meanwhile, does anybody know if there's more than one way in and out of this place? Demetrius,
Did I
since
notice anything when I was wandering around? I can roll for it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
No, I would think there would be. I think there's multiple ways in and out of here. You know these kinds
18.
aren't gonna
You can
be
see
somewhere
like,
that they can't get out of.
you can see tunnels that are branching off from the main one.
Okay. Yeah, so. But yeah, there's a few different tunnels here. I'm not sure where they all lead. But I'm sure at least one of them leads up to the surface.
Okay. I would say we just are wandering around on the lookout looking for this Lady Lovelace
Didn't say where that soapbox usually is, did he?
in the
Oh,
square.
yeah, in the square.
So I guess that's what we're doing.
Okay. And with that, we'll go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be back right after this.
As a geek with a life outside of gaming, it can be hard to stay informed. The Sometimes Geek podcast is your weekly update of all the major video game news, brought to you with the insight of an everyday gamer. Episodes are kept short and to the point, so you have more time to spend playing games instead of reading about them. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and at sometimesgeek.com. The Sometimes Geek Podcast, because we can't be geeks all the time.
All right, and we are back. So you all have decided that you're going to head over to the main square, like the central area. It's pretty easy to see that there's a bunch of crates and boxes and things that are more in the center of it. There's like actually a bulletin board type of thing where there are announcements and wanted 3 bruisers and a knee breaker kind of signs. If you were running through your standard fantasy MMO, that's where you would go to get all your side quests.
Probably that one picture of the cat on the city street.
The lamp post right above it, and the lights shining
My
directly where the
gaming
cat's
experience tells me that this cat has a side quest for me.
So
And
true.
Jeff decided to kick the cat.
There's a golden arrow. It's just
Yeah, Jeff, that cat was a side quest.
Yeah,
The cat that had the slightly magical aura.
it was a side quest.
I'm gonna roll my search to see if I see that fuzzy cat.
Okay.
21.
You do see a few assorted animals, like a couple of dogs and
Chicken.
you don't see any specific cats. You do see some animals that are like some dogs and everything, and there is a cockfight that is set up at one of the far ends of the Undermarket, in one of the less savory portions of it.
Who thought there's less savory portions of an Undermarket?
Oh, right, that's what I was.
There's always less savory portions.
So there's like the bad parts, and then there are the really bad parts. Yeah, so there's definitely some animal fights going on. On the board, you do see a sign that actually says that there's going to be a bear burning, and that's going to be next week. There's nothing more fun than lighting a bear on fire.
That's
How do you know until you try?
Hey, in the Wild West, it used to be a cat, an entertainment to take a cat and drop it into a vat of boiling oil.
Well, that's horrible.
Yeah. Getting back to the original point, no kicking kitty for you.
Well, I mean, it was bothering me.
Okay.
If I saw it, I'd be like, hey, look, that cat's back.
As you're looking around for the cat, though, you do see a procession coming through the aisles of the shop.
I
no.
think our crazy lady's here.
Processions are bad.
And they're holding things that obviously look like they're religious symbols. One is like on a pole, like a upside down scythe. Another one has a collection of sticks tied together. Another has a hammer that looks large enough to do some serious damage. And then a final one is an executioner's sword.
Have I seen any of these symbols before, including on the wall rubbings that I just did of all the Fey history?
Roll a religion knowledge check, history check.
I do have a perfect recall ability. Yeah. So I'm gonna, if I remember correctly, how the perfect recall works.
Anytime the character chooses to recall anything he or she has experienced, the GM must tell him the truth in as much detail as the character would have been aware. So you have seen some of these before, particularly the bundle of sticks.
Do I remember where I have seen it?
In Demetrius' bag of poking.
Yes. No, it looks like it's a symbol that you saw carried by the remix. Like in some of the murals,
Okay.
they were first meeting with the Fae.
Back when they were first meeting.
Yes. And they're wearing dark purple robes with a pointed hood type of thing. It's like the hood goes up some and then slants backwards. And then there's red trim on the arms and the hood.
Very flashy like.
Yes. Very much like they're trying to make a fashion statement that says, "Come join us, we worship the dark side."
They have cookies.
Yes. There are cookies here.
I'd rather have cake.
Well, Marie, you can put your neck right there. As they come in, they're like in the center of all of them is a rather short lady. She only comes just a little over 5 feet.
She old.
I sense magic aura on her.
Okay. Blonde, brunette, ugly.
Well, you can't tell because she's wearing a hood.
16.
She does have a magical aura about her.
Is it old magic?
It's human magic.
Did you say she's wearing a robe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Jeff just asked how pretty she was, and I said that you couldn't tell because she was wearing a hood. The hood.
So
of the
can we
robe.
actually tell that it's a woman?
It's pretty obvious, yeah. From the height, and like you can see her hands and everything like that.
Huge bust.
I was about to ask, is it just
Huge.
How far away?
Land.
How far away from me is she?
They're still coming down the thoroughfares.
Okay.
We're talking. Nick
I want
Minaj.
to try to read her thoughts.
Gosh.
She has to have a resist of less than 7.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know.
Because is it a wit roll
Yeah.
or is it charm? I keep forgetting.
But yes, resist is her charm.
She rolled 2 ones.
All right.
Nice.
Whoa.
So this, I want to read her thoughts.
Okay.
Maybe that's why she wears it. She's not very charming.
Even Benedict wouldn't be impressed.
She really seems filled with single-minded devotion
To
to Bae Van Shee.
the Bae Van Shee.
Stab her in the heart. Thank her for questioning and then stab her in the throat.
After
How many is in her entourage?
Well, there are the 4 symbol bearers,
Mm-hmm.
and then in addition to the symbol bearers, there's a few. I will say there's 4 more without symbols, and then there are what looks like some soldiers with them as well.
So a lot.
What are the soldiers wearing?
They're wearing Iberian gear.
Oof.
How many soldiers?
2,
So total, there are
4, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Including the lady.
including her.
I'm going to cast one more spell here real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Bless.
Yeah, good plan.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I want us to have that little extra bonus.
there wasn't so
Plus
many.
1 or plus 2?
Plus 2 to all rolls.
All rolls.
There wasn't so many. Oh, nice, Johnny.
19 by 2. Target number 19, so.
Nice.
So you now have +2 to all rolls.
Yes.
All rules.
For an hour.
Can we feel that we are blessed?
Probably feel like just that little bit
A little extra.
lucky,
Just,
comfy.
I got this.
You attribute it to the Lord.
You don't know that's me doing it.
Okay.
Alright guys. This lady is number 1 Bae Van Shee fan club member.
How many soldiers?
2 soldiers.
2 soldiers. And the rest of them, they don't appear to be armed.
Well, the one with the big giant executioner sword is on.
So it's not a symbol. It's not like an image of a sword. It's
Oh,
an
I
actual
thought it was...
sword.
I thought
No,
these
these
are
are like-
standard bearers. Like
No, these are full, like, one is holding a group of sticks.
Oh, they're actual... I thought
Yeah.
they were like banners.
No,
they were like...
No. These are actual things
Okay.
that they're holding.
Hmm.
so you got a sword and an executioner's axe.
An executioner sword, a giant hammer that looks like it could do some really bad knee damage,
And 2 soldiers.
and a group of sticks.
Group of sticks. So they're...
Like long branches, like 3 feet long branches.
So there are 3 people with objects and 2 soldiers.
Oh, there was another
I
object
thought it was
as
a
well. There was
sword.
an upside down scythe on a stick.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I mean, do these guys look? I imagine that an executioner's sword, a large executioner's sword, and a massive hammer are going to be heavy.
Yes.
So these guys look like they're
Strong.
Big.
muscular. They're
The smallest one is the woman in the center.
Well, yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
all
people
rest
carrying
of them-
stuff.
What I imagine is that the woman is in the center. Each of the standard bearers is on like a point around her,
And they're large.
and then there
4
are
standard bearers and 2 soldiers.
And plus 4 other
plus 4 other people
randos.
But the 4 other people don't appear to be
armed.
armed.
But could potentially be hiding arms.
Yeah.
So Grayson is going to say, so what is our play here? This does not look like just coming into about propaganda. They're coming in, they've got some pretty big weaponry. I mean, if we're going to try and talk to somebody that's obviously the enemy, take them for questioning. We're in for a fight here.
We are in for a fight. If we challenge, yes.
Are we
Tell
going to
you-
just try and follow them after they give their speech? Or do we want to try and confront them here and now? Because we kind of need answers now.
Personally, I'm a fan of stabbing him in the back.
Benedict is going to follow any lead that he's lost.
I, as a player, am torn because
Well,
outside of game,
Grayson wants to know what Demetrius is going to say.
oh, yeah, but I'm trying to decide what Demetrius would do. I want him to stay and hear the nonsense that she has to say, just to determine how far gone, if you need to kill her or whatever. But then at the same time, he's like, we're just wasting time down here, where we could be doing things like trying to figure out how to get into that dome.
So you say we confront him now? That's what it sounds like.
Possibly.
And Grayson turns to Benedict and he's like, what do you feel is the right thing to do here, Brother Benedict?
Do they have sympathizers down here?
That's a good question.
That's what Benedict feels.
They've been doing this for a while too, so they might have people that have come around to their point of view, one or two here and there.
Do we let her start her speak and see what happens?
I personally
Definitely
feel
the
that-
more cautious.
Yes.
Like you said, as I said, I'm a fan of stabbing him in the back. I believe that if we are going to accost them, then we need to not do it where we could potentially be highly outnumbered. Not just moderately outnumbered, but highly outnumbered.
And Benedict's going to say, I really have a hard time defending all of you.
I'm thinking maybe in the caverns on the way to the surface, we might do something.
Alright. Sit back and wait.
So she gets to the center of the square, and it looks like people have stepped away to give this entourage some space.
Like, respectfully stepped away, or just like, I don't want to be here?
It's a mixed reaction,
Okay.
but it seems far more to the side of respect. So she actually steps up onto a crate that's been overturned to provide a more stable standing platform. And from her robe, she actually pulls out a clock.
And it's off by 20 seconds.
All right, I'm intrigued.
She holds it up, and she just turns slowly so that everybody in the crowd can see what she's holding up. It was one of your first pieces.
Oh.
One of his first pieces?
Yes.
Which is why it's off by 20 seconds.
No. Do you see this?
I'm trying to see if I can remember who I sold it to or who it went to.
You think it might have been sold to a friend of Denham's.
All right.
And the crowd is paying attention to it.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that want to, anyways.
Are there people that are just still going just about their business?
Yeah, I mean, the shopkeepers are like quietly doing transactions and everything like that. Do you see this? She says as she turns slowly on the box. This is supposed to be a marker of time, but in truth, it is a profanation, a profanity to the world.
Jeremy's pretending to
Timing is everything. There was a right in her throat.
We'll just say that does not happen. The mental
Really want that to happen.
the mental fantasies of Demetrius Norden are.
So if this was a movie, you would actually see that play out, and then it would zoom out, and that's Demetrius is just thinking that in his head.
Gritted teeth.
Clint's jaw, knuckles turn white.
This is how we divide ourselves. We mark every second of our life. The tick, the tock, the hand sweeping forward. This is how we measure off our lives. It shall not stand. And she throws it to the ground, and it just explodes.
As she releases it, Demetrius is going to release a throwing knife at her face.
My goodness.
Oh,
I
Or at
am-
her chest.
So Grayson is going to do what he was contemplating doing because Demetrius has now forced the issue. He's going to cast Slumber on 6 of them.
Okay.
Because he can cast it on 1 per die he has in magic.
Yeah.
6 of the 12. 11. 6 of the
6 of the 11.
Are we rolling initiative?
As soon as the clock came out,
Yes, we are.
well, this would be like sort of pre-initiative because as soon as the clock came out, Grayson is like, "What is Demetrius going to do? What is Demetrius going to do?" Because he knows that is a hot button.
10, 16, 17.
Don't forget add 2.
Yes,
oh, yeah,
that too.
add 2, so that's
19.
19.
So that would be a 10 to.
Dagger is might plus 1, plus 2 at the end. Numbers 9 plus 5 is 14 plus 2 is 16.
She's severely wounded.
Alright, and Slumber?
All right, so Slumber is 10 plus resist roll,
Right.
and that is to wit.
Okay.
So the 6 that I'm attempting to put to sleep, the 4 standard bearers and the 2 soldiers.
Okay.
Targets resist individually falling deep sleep on failure.
Dang it, Jeff. Dang it, Jeff. Oh, gosh.
It's not too bad.
19.
So they all have to individually have to roll less than 9.
You got.
I know.
So I have to roll 6 times.
6 times.
Uh-huh.
So 1, 4,
Okay, they're asleep.
2, 5,
They're asleep.
3, 8,
They're asleep.
4, 5,
They're asleep.
5, 11.
Fail.
That's a soldier.
Alright,
It's a soldier.
Yeah.
And
And then 9.
so that's
That's-
19. So
that's the target
That's
number.
target
So
number, so
they're,
yeah.
they're asleep. So 1 soldier
1 soldier.
is awake. Yeah, he's not awake. Drop him. Hero point.
Okay.
So they're all the soldiers and all the standard bearers. Just
How dare you? She yells.
Are we rolling initiative?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Yeah, I think at this point we need to roll initiative, which is our agility, right?
Actually, it was 14 with my +2.
Oh, plus 2. Yeah,
For us,
so
it's not going to matter. but
No.
for-
22.
13.
13. Okay, so she goes last.
Thank goodness.
Yes. It means I get to whip another knife into her.
Alright, so first it's Demetrius, then it is Jorus, Benedict, Grayson, and the lady. Lovelace. So, Demetrius,
He is going to whip a second knife into her, saying, "You just broke my first clock." I'm telling her why she's going down.
I take it this is personal.
She made it personal.
Even though she didn't know you.
Oh,
20 to
20
hit.
to hit.
she is severely wounded.
Yeah. She rolled a 1 on her wild die.
Damage.
How dare! Right in the
Actually, she would have only been wounded because it's 4 to 8.
Oh, that's true.
It-
Yeah.
Yeah.
16 plus 2 is 18 plus 1 is 19.
I rolled a 9. That's 10 above, so that would be more than wounded.
Oh,
That was
That-
quick.
Alright. Alright, so
There's
what's
still-
the crowd doing?
Well, there's still 4 other
Entourage.
in her entourage.
I almost want them to run into the crowd and just
Disperse.
try and disappear. Yeah, that makes the most sense to me.
We don't know what kind of followers they were. The cowardly kind, the fanatic kind.
I guess the next question is, what is the crowd doing?
Yeah, the crowd looks like they're about to riot.
Like looking at us? Like they're.
Oh, yes. Specifically, Mr. Clockmaker.
Because he's the one who just.
Look,
How close are we to.
Hey,
you broke my clock.
It was his turn to go psycho. I've done it enough.
How close are we to her body? Is she dead?
No, she's,
No, she's
mortally
mortally
How close?
So
is
if she
found to
just
be
lays
dead.
there, then yeah, she will be dead.
She's about to be dead.
and how close is the crowd? Because they can give him space.
We'll say you guys were about 20 feet away.
So we were all like on the edge. Of the
Yeah,
crowd.
you were on the edge of the crowd.
Benedict's gonna go pick her up and carry her.
Okay.
I mean, are we still in initiative, or are we just
That's a good question.
I don't think you are.
okay?
It ended what needed to end.
Okay. Yeah, we just weren't sure if the crowd was part of the initiative.
Yeah, no, I don't think the crowd is, but they're starting to get pushy
Okay. Guys, it's time to go.
in more ways than one. So we're going to go ahead and break the episode off there, and then we will come back next week. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook and Google+. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.